Caution, you've entered the no-spin zone. This is the O'Reilly Factor, and I'm your host, Bill O'Reilly.
And I'm your co-host, Glenn Beck. I look like a giant ham.
I'm Al Gore. I invented the internet.
Viewer discretion is advised.
And welcome in to the FC Podcast, not the O'Reilly Factor. I'm Killer Gunny 132 with Toast 78901.
I prefer the O'Reilly Factor.
Oh, well, if you like spinning in a
Damn,
no-spin zone.
No, there's no spin because the spin stops here, motherfucker. This is
because we're looking out for you.
We're looking out for you with our military-industrial complex. Fucking shit. Fuck you.
Anyway, it's been 2 weeks. We
without
know.
We're
show. Sorry. We'll buy you roses and we'll take you out to dinner.
We're not buying roses. It's death sings. I promise everyone chocolate chip cookies.
Did you know?
Yeah. That's what I used to promise people in the squad. I'd give them chocolate chip cookies if they killed Platt enough because he was a traitor. Yeah, that's right, Platt. I called you out, son.
Was I promised chocolate chip cookies? Because I like chocolate chip cookies.
You don't get chocolate chip cookies.
Why don't I get chocolate chip cookies?
Because no one loves you.
Well then, I know where your allegiances lie. With the
yep.
devil.
With Green Army. No, actually not green.
No, you're not green.
Yeah, I'm not. Which for some reason... Okay, yeah, I'm going to address this right now. I haven't been on the site much because I've been, living. But I specifically said I don't want an enlisted position in blue because if I have the ability to come back to the wars, I'm going to, against my better judgment, I'm going to get sucked back in.
Yeah.
So you guys listening, get me off of Blue Army everything right now.
Yeah, he's also still getting messages about boot camps.
Yes, which Kaz, I hope, is taking over Nick. But you know that they probably are, because you said Kaz went today.
Yeah.
But enough about Blue Army business.
Yes. This is episode 8.
Episode Ocho.
Yes.
Ocho Cinco. I play baseball now.
I think if we're looking at it, we've been doing this for about 3 months now. We don't have 3 months of shows, but I think we've been actively doing this for about 3 months.
Yeah. Yes. Including the planning we did beforehand.
Yes. So I'm very proud of that. I'm not sure for the longest running yet. I believe Carpe Vexillium had about 10, 12 episodes. So we're getting close to that. So that's the record I'm looking at breaking.
We'll break it.
Yeah, I think we will.
We will.
Anyway, now that we've addressed our missed shows, we apologize for those.
We missed those. First week was technical difficulty. Second one, we were tired and worn out and had shit to do. Yeah, I've had enough shit to do.
We called a mulligan.
I mean, I've had enough shit to do that I even, formally resigned. I'm sure you guys saw my post, so that says enough.
Anyway, let's jump into our FC news.
FC
news. Well,
in terms of battle nights, despite us not having one tonight, the past couple weeks, Red has still been sweeping.
Yeah, Red is the rape train that has no brakes.
It has no brakes, and their arms are starting to get tired.
Get tired?
They're gonna have to end up building up more arm strength to continue sweeping. And to be honest, they're going to need to replace their brush heads eventually.
Yeah.
Because the broom's getting tired.
Yes, it is. At least in blue, we're hoping so.
Actually, technically, I don't have an allegiance anymore, technically.
I'm
in blue. I am now the neutral voice of this show. I love Blue Army.
Anyway. But also, today, there were no battle nights, or today being Sunday.
Because everyone was supposed to spend time with their darling mother.
It was Mother's Day. But for the people who didn't have anything to do on Mother's Day, we had kind of a mock battle night thing here, where we really play tested maps for next war. Myth wanted to do that. He wanted to do some play testing before.
I wish I had known. I wouldn't have had time, but I kind of want to see this. If anybody saved those in their file share, let me know.
Oh yeah,
listener mail, so I can get those because I want to see them.
Let's pull up the list of the maps real quick.
Pulling up the list of the maps. That's the O'Reilly Factor introduction, not that one.
We played on an 8v8 map called Claxton.
Klaxon.
And an 8v8 map.
There's
Klaxon.
no T there.
Okay, Klaxon.
Don't put a T in there.
Klaxon, Klax off. Anyway.
He always does that when I'm in mid-sip of a drink.
The Big Freeze is an 8v8 map. That makes me think of a Slurpee.
Asymmetrical 8v8. Yes. That should be interesting.
That makes me think of a Slurpee from 7-Eleven.
Actually, I think Chevron's drink stuff, their drinks. I think their brand is Big Freeze.
Oh, well, there you go. Exceed is a 6v6 map. I hope that exceeded your expectations.
Tisk.
Radiant, which was a 6v6 symmetric map. And then Endfall, which was the only 4v4 played tonight.
Where Dark Horse FT faced off against Sparta, and the Flaming Tortugas went against the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you people doing while I'm away?
Yeah, there were some different squad names tonight just because we were fucking around. But yeah, I only played in one game tonight, but it was fun. It was interesting to play on some of these maps. I know yesterday for the blue scrim we played on some terrible ones, like a map called Eviction no one liked. Like people were quitting out of games because they didn't like it so much.
It.
But you played on Eviction?
No.
Oh, okay. Well done. I think the next piece of news would be that if you noticed, we have a new background.
Yeah, and it's all sexy and shit.
Yes, it is.
Although I will make this one comment, it's Meta who does those, right?
I don't know. Medi?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought it was. Anyway, the one thing that I will say is on the sides, they have these FC logos that are branching out. And for the life of me, I know this wasn't meant by this, and I don't mean this to have any offense with it, but it kind of looks like they were just kind of thrown there, like, FC logos on the side. But that could just be me. I don't know. I'll shut up now. I won't criticize your work any further, because you don't criticize mine.
Yeah, and then the last piece of FC news, of course, is our own FC Salvation Army.
Which, we are formally out of codes right now. We're working with Metkill for the money from the Halo Unity.
Like, so as we speak.
We'll be able to get some codes there.
Yeah.
I heard Fuzzy gave us 800 Microsoft points to do stuff with
did.
codes. The one thing that I will say, though, is you guys, we need your help. We can't run this on our own. If I had enough money to supply this whole community with Xbox Live subscriptions, then I wouldn't have needed to leave the community like I did. So, unfortunately, we can't run this on our own, and I can't supply you guys all with this, so we need your help here.
Yes, but the other big piece of news is the good folks over at Halo Unity did a drive to earn money for us to buy codes, because they really like the idea, which is really cool.
Yeah, and for every signature, we got $1. Originally, he said £1. Because
Yeah.
I think he's based in the U.S. And at first I was like, we get pounds because the conversion rate works
Yeah.
in our favor there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, you're in the U.S. You get dollars. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You're still giving me money.
I'm not sure on the amount. I think it was around $65 though. So once we talk with Metkill and work that out, we will be getting codes for you guys, and then we'll tell you when we start taking applications again once we have those codes. But right now,
So
don't send them in because
unfortunately-
we don't have anything.
Yeah, don't request a code. Submit codes though, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. Keep doing that.
The first person to submit a code after the release of this podcast, I will personally mail you cookies. I don't know how good they'll be when you get them, but I will mail you cookies.
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious. I will mail them
I-
or cornbread if they prefer cornbread.
I will throw in a brownie.
He'll throw in a brownie.
Actually, a box of brownies. I'll go buy one from Bel Air.
Oh yeah, see there we go. So we will actually give you stuff if you make the effort to submit a code to us.
Yes, that would be really awesome.
Also, totally calling you out. Hey, Yeesus, where's our letter?
Yeah.
I know we're going to address listener mail later on, but he totally called us out and was like, you guys don't know anything about the Mass Effect series, if you remember our last episode. I believe
Yeah.
that was our last one.
I
yeah.
think so.
And he promised us this whole essay about how we didn't know shit about the Mass Effect series, and we never got one. So until I get that message, I'm sorry, but I think I win this debate because it's
You didn't show up.
Yeah, it's a vote of no contest. You didn't do anything in retaliation.
You forfeit.
Yeah, you forfeit.
You concede.
You forfeit. You conceded the victory, good sir.
But as far as FC news, that's about it. Also, some very interesting gaming news. The big date for the new Xbox announcement is coming up May 21st. That is a Tuesday, and it is at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
So be there for our Cinco de Mayo celebration.
May 21st.
It's our Cinco de Mayo celebration. We're going to have it on the 21st. Even though it's totally not
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo, we're going to change it to Cinco de Mayo so they get thrown off and they can't sue us, because I think the Mexicans will.
Anyway, May 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Microsoft is announcing what the new Xbox is going to be. And since that was announced, there's some things ramping up as far as rumors. I know on Reddit, I saw something on Kotaku about that. A Reddit person actually made a Photoshop, and it was actually a legit logo that looked real legit. It was Xbox Infinity, and the Infinity, they actually had the Infinity symbol, not the word. And it looked legit, and it fooled everyone. News sources started reporting it. They
Here's
started
what they
reporting a
could do.
Photoshop.
Here's what they could do.
Huh.
And I know this is slightly off track, but not. In terms of logo, it'd be really cool if, the Microsoft circle with the X in it?
Yes.
Okay. Have an infinity symbol in the circle,
Mhm.
but highlight the cross section that looks like an X. So the X stands out of infinity. That would be really cool.
I know I was watching something today, and that they said the Infinity logo would work how that person photoshopped it, because they'd also be secretly putting Windows 8 in there, and they'd be hinting that Windows 8 would be included in some form. Which
Oh God, help me!
I know people.
Oh God, help me!
People wouldn't want that because I've heard horrible bad things about Windows 8.
I'm
but
shivering over here. Don't include Windows 8.
but that would be an interesting marketing standpoint from Microsoft.
Because the show doesn't have a tirade, I'm going to go ahead and rant right now and say that Windows 8 is the worst operating system to have ever come out. I prefer Vista. Vista crashed, but at least it wasn't a... Look, motherfuckers, if I wanted a smartphone for a computer, I would just get a smartphone with a really fucking big screen. Okay? Or I'd hook up my smartphone to another screen.
Yeah.
I don't want a smartphone for a fucking...
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I am not on a mobile
no.
device. I'm on a laptop.
Exactly.
Computer or
My
something.
operating system should be an operating system, not a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be a computer. Like, I want it to feel like a computer. Like, I guess technically you can bring up start menus and all that kind of stuff, but even then it doesn't feel right. It doesn't work right. It's more of a hassle to get to the actual technicalities of a computer. I mean, I guess it's great if you are going to do that thing. Like, they always advertise where you break it off with a tablet, and then it's an Insta tablet. I mean, tablets, sure, I guess that works, but my home computer is supposed to feel like a home computer.
I know a lot of sites are doing that. I know Twitter. I use Twitter a lot. And they, I think last year, went to a layout that's more mobile-esque. Like, you can't really tell the difference if you were, like, on your mobile device or on the actual site.
But that's fine. Like, that's a website that's centered around mobility.
Okay.
This is an operating system for a home computer.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I guess you could argue the age of the home computers no more because of laptops and all that kind of shit. But even then, like, I want my desktop computer to feel like a fucking computer.
Yeah, PC stands for personal computer, not personal phone.
Yeah.
Like
if you want it for a tablet, that's fine. Like, have like a setting or a version. Maybe there is a setting we just don't know.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. You know why you never know? Because it's set up so shitty you can't fucking find anything.
Yeah, they don't explain to you things very well.
Oh my god. Okay, that's my rant for the show. Is fuck Windows 8.
Fuck Windows 8.
I'm not upgrading at all. I'm going to stick with Windows 7 because that's still slightly newer and it looks all nice and shiny, but it's not a smartphone.
I am very happy with Windows 7. I plan to never upgrade. Unless I see some sort of improvement.
Unless Windows 9 looks cool. Unless Windows 9 goes back to being a computer, I'm going to stick at Windows 7 for the rest of my technological career.
Okay.
Like, I'll find some way to make everything backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, on that note, I think we'll enter under our break.
No, before we do.
Oh, before we do. Okay.
Because I didn't say this in. I'm really pissed off at Microsoft right now for doing this shitty Xbox announcement thing now when we're so close to E3. Like, that's how many weeks away from E3.
Yeah, E3's usually, I want to say June 6th.
Exactly, and it's like 2 weeks away from E3.
Yeah, that's not, I never realized that.
Like, I understand, like, people are like, well, PlayStation did. I'm like, yeah, they did it, like, months before E3, though. Like, you're so close, just have a big unveiling there. Like, to be honest,
wait a minute.
Having an unveiling at E3 when you have your own day as Microsoft would just be more elaborate. It'd be more nice.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think for that presentation on May 21st, they're going to demonstrate the hardware, like what it can do, and then at E3 they're going to be talking about the games for it. Because I think what we all can assume that it's coming out this fall. So they're going to showcase the games at E3, but showcase the hardware at this presentation.
But here's why that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Because to be honest, it's not like, I mean, I'm making an assumption here, but it's not like there's going to be tons of console-specific stuff that we know of this fall. Because here's the thing, if anything is coming out this fall, we would already know about it because of how soon it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't just spring it out, hey, by the way, you have 2 months to pre-order. Like, they soak that shit up for months.
Yes, but I think, like, say Destiny, I'm not saying this will happen, but, like, they have Destiny running on the new Xbox. They'll do that E3, because they want to show gameplay of it, like, maybe they signed an exclusive thing with Bungie, well, they'll show only their game at the Xbox conference instead of the PlayStation one, because they've done that with other games in the past.
Yeah. But here's the other thing, if you look at other if you look at other conferences, Microsoft has its own day. You know what I mean? Like, it's all Microsoft.
Yeah.
The first part of the day is showing off any new hardware. Like, the last time we had a big hardware thing, they showed off Kinect.
Yes.
And then at the next one, they showed off the Internet Explorer and that kind of stuff.
You know apps and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And then the latter half of the day is games.
Yeah.
So if you take away all the hardware, I mean, I guess they could still address it, but it's not going to have that same kind of oomph to start off the day that it would have with a full-on reveal.
Yeah, they are killing some of their hype. I do agree with that there. Like,
and it's just, it doesn't make as much sense to me. Like, especially with, because the big question, I mean, even Raz has asked this. He's like, well, you know, should I buy the PS4 or should I buy the 720? It's the 720 in my book. We've already addressed this in previous shows. But, you know, and a lot of people are going to be asking that question, which one should I buy? Because even if there's something that console specific, we even brought this up in another show, like, no one should ever buy a console just for one game.
Exactly.
You tried that with the show, and it was a bad idea with the PS3.
Yeah, and I sold it.
You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that you just shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And so, with that much competition, especially since Sony's going to be bringing their game, because they lost money with the PS3.
Yes.
They lost money. So this one needs to be a success.
Yeah,
so they're going to be bringing their A game at E3.
Yeah, I think the whole which console will be better is a debate better when we actually know more about the Xbox, because we know next is it other than rumors.
Yeah.
So I think after they make their announcement on May 21st, we'll know more, and that will be a really good debate.
Them. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
But like what I'm saying is, like, with Sony expected to bring their A game, why would you kill your hype?
I'm thinking that too.
All?
Like, you could go into E3 with the most to gain.
Exactly.
And now you're not really going with the most to gain. Now you're just announcing games like Sony
Watch
is.
Nintendo pull a fast one.
I don't know. They have the Wii U.
No, they totally wouldn't. Like, trust me, Nintendo's not going to do shit. They're not relevant anymore. But like, I can see them pulling like this like awesome fast one that's all of a sudden like the best console to have ever been released.
Actually,
that'd be hilarious.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think they might announce like the new generation of Pokemon at E3, like for their mobile devices.
Speaking of which, that's going to be addressed later on in the show. We have a Pokemon discussion planned for you guys, because I think everyone here was a Pokemon kid in some way, shape, or form. And if you weren't, then go be a Pokemon adult, because Pokemon's just that awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to jump to our first break.
And we're going to go to our first break with music brought to you, I believe, by Gunny's choosing. I have chosen the song to play you guys out. No one suggested any music in listener mail, so sorry guys, you're going to have to live with what we want. But fuck you, we do the editing, we make the show, we'll play what we want.
Yeah! Fuck you guys!
So with that, stay tuned, and we will be right back after this break.
Stay tuned to the FC Podcast. Welcome back in to the FC Podcast with your host, Killer Gunny 132 and Toast 78901. And, yes, and for this discussion, we have a special guest, our friend. We will not mention him by name. He would like to be called by his alias in the Philippines, and that was Papa Big Dick. How you doing, Papa Big Dick?
Doing good. Let's get this podcast started.
Yeah, let's get this going. So our discussion for our return episode is going to be Pokemon.
Which, if you guys don't know, is a story about a 10-year-old who's in a coma.
Well,
and the fruition of the show is all of him dealing with his own personal repression, such as his sexual angst and anger and stuff like that.
I hope you realize, like, once the franchise starts leaking out, like, once, like, it starts running dry, we will return to that.
Like, no, I'm serious. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like, I'm actually not gonna, like, explain Pokemon here, because if you don't know what it is, why the fuck are you part of a gaming community? I don't understand you.
Pokemon is the shit, bro.
Pokemon is the shit. You don't have tons of room to talk here. We'll address that later on. Gunny's going back and playing them. He skipped second generation, people. Everyone who had played them knows why I'm pissed off about that.
That's the only reason why you would play. Like, aside from all the new, like, all the gameplay and everything, second generation is Pokemon.
Yeah, and what you guys need to do in your listener mail this week is write in hate mail about how much Gunny sucks for not playing second gen.
Anyway, I was wildly motivated to include this in this week's episode because it has been a thing in the community now about Pokemon. For one, there's an FC Pokemon League going on the DS version of a game.
Yeah, sure is.
I know Goozy is heading that with heading, like, they're putting leaders of gyms. It's a really cool project. I wish I could join in, but I don't have a DS. And then also, people in the community have been playing a game called Pokemon World Online.
Which is an awesome Pokemon MMO. Gunny and I have registration keys. Hit us up. My tag is the same as my gamer tag.
Mine is Eli.
Yeah,
I got that.
Eli, period.
I got that.
Period. There's a period at the end of it. But yeah, it's a great game. MMO, you can either go into Johto or you can go into Kanto.
Really?
You can get starters from either one. They have trading, gyms, and everything like that. They have it's still technically in beta testing, although it's been around for like 6 years now.
Yeah.
The problem is it's an independent group of guys and they just don't have tons of funds to get everything going.
Isn't it like a studio of like 15 guys on
Yeah, it's 15 guys running this whole MMO.
Well, I mean,
like, in terms of coding and everything.
Well, I mean, they're in luck though, because I mean, with Kickstarter and everything, because that shit is really getting popular right now.
It is.
I mean, I don't see why it's a problem for them to get funding, because I mean, Pokemon, like an MMO Pokemon, like...
Well, the thing is, it's free to play right now, but what they're doing is they have, in order to get certain Pokemon, you have to get tokens, and the only way to get tokens is to donate money to the site.
I think that's for shiny Pokemon, right?
No, it's not just shinies. Like, you can just find a shiny, but if you're a member which takes tokens, which costs you money, then you have a higher rate of finding...
likely.
Finding horribly rare or shiny Pokemon.
Anyway, for this discussion, I thought we'd just talk about Pokemon as a whole, go up through the generations, talk about our favorite or most, unfavorite things, and just kind of work our way up and maybe get into some real deep Pokemon shit. Alright, so let's start with the first generation. What do you guys think first generation Pokemon? The original, the thing that started it all.
It sets the path.
I started when I was 5.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dead serious. Like, that was, I think, my second series aside from Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda was hands down my first series. Yeah. I played that when I was like 4.5, 5. Yeah. And that was awesome on the original Nintendo. And then for, I think, like my 5th... No, I think it was my 6th birthday. I got the original Game Boy Color. But it was the purple one, because purple's the shit.
I had the turquoise one.
I had the yellow one, sadly enough.
Oh, it's because you're Asian. And I actually it came with both red and blue.
Okay. Oh.
And so I was able to play through, because when you're a kid, you're like, what's the difference? And then you realize there's different Pokemon in each one. You're like, motherfucker, I get to collect different fucking Pokemon.
See, the shit I hate about the whole trading thing is when I was growing up when I was 5 or 6, I wasn't very social. So the problem I had with that is that I finished the entire game like 3 times over. Yeah. But I'd still have like a half-complete, like half-assed Pokedex. Like I'm waiting like, I have this Charizard, but I can't get a Blastoise!
But yeah, the first generation, the games was red, blue. There was a special edition yellow, and I think green was only in Japan.
Green was
right?
in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, here's how it rolls, and I'm going to talk about this more later on. Yeah. Essentially, the beginnings and the starters were supposed to coincide with the original characters from the manga. Each game is supposed to correspond with it. So red version was the story of Red, green version was the story of Leaf, and then blue version was Blue. And as it says,
and then yellow was supposed to be Ash.
Yeah, because at the time, the anime was getting big in the U.S. That didn't come out for I want to say about 3 or 4 years after the
was it 3 years?
Games.
Really?
Yeah, it was a while. And
I want to say like super late 90s that anime.
Yeah, 98. I want to say 97, 98.
And it wasn't until about 98 that came out. And the reason they did that is because, especially in the U.S. and the European audiences, no one knew who Red was. No one knew who Leaf was. No one fucking cares because no one reads the manga.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking
to...
Red,
I don't want to name my guy Red.
I was actually talking to... Everybody's like, I'm going to name myself Ash. I was actually talking to Urias, a little shout out to you here, the other night, and I was talking about how I'm replaying Fire Red, and I'm making Red's team. With all starters, with Espeon and Snorlax, if you remember the team that you have to fight in second gen of his. And I have all the Pokemon. I had to cheat to get it, but whatever. I'm emulating it. But, and I was talking, and like, I gave you this whole explanation as to who Red was, and he was like, I lived in Japan for a couple of years. You don't need to fucking tell me who Red is. And then I was like, yeah, but I do that as a preface because no one in the States knows this.
It's actually really sad. Like, I wish the anime of it picked up, like, instead of going with Ash, because fuck Ash. Like, really, he hasn't had a growth spurt in, 9 years? 10 years? 12 even? 12 even? Everyone else has grown. Fucking Misty, when they came back, like, to, to Kanto and everything, she shot up, like, a good...
Does she finally have tits now? Because
no.
Fun fact, that's why they took her off. That's why they got rid of her character, because she didn't have any tits. Yes. Yeah. Because people that were watching it felt that it didn't portray women well enough. That's why the women were pissed. And then the guys, of course, because guys were watching it, they were like, to be honest, like, you should have a female protagonist with more tits. And so they cut her for that.
I'm actually surprised. Like, I would think the main audience would be 9 or 10. I didn't think they cared for tits at the time.
Well, when they cut her character, the audience was now that grew up with Pokemon was now like 17 or 18. And so they were like, yeah, she needs tits.
Yeah.
Wait, so they just kicked her off? Like, they couldn't just say, oh, she
They asked her character. Yeah, she went to... Yeah, well, what are they going to do? Give her implants? Like, how are you, Missy? I'm just back to my operation.
I don't know.
I got triple D's now.
I don't know if Japan knows it, but there's a thing called, like, growth spurts. Like I'm sure Misty has it in her. She's a redhead. She's a redhead. I've seen pretty busty redheads in my time.
Okay. Fun fact about Ash. He's been at it for 14 years, and he's never gotten past the semifinals in the Pokemon Championships. Never passed the semifinals in the Pokemon Championships.
Because if he becomes a Pokemon champion, what's the point of going anymore? But if you go according to the Coma theory, which, by the way, I'll try to find that and post a link to it. It's an incredibly long read, but it's an amazing read. If he reaches that point, then there's no reason for his pseudo-world that he's created in his Coma to go on, and his mental state will collapse.
But that was fan-made. I don't
For
think
now,
that...
It is the best fucking explanation of
You know
that
what?
show ever. And it explains why over time the Pokemon get further and further away from actual animals. His mental state is deteriorating. He has nothing else to conjure.
I guess.
Pokemon seems like a franchise they could keep on feeding on for years and years and years. And eventually the story is gonna, if it isn't weak already, like there is already stories out there for like the Pokemon developers to go, hey, this looks actually pretty good. And also pretty dark. Because, what is it? The main audience at this point is probably in their mid-20s, early 20s. They're in college. They're probably even past college at this point. So what I think they should do is follow the fucking herd.
Yeah.
Start getting with a more mature themes. Because, we've seen in the games.
I want to see some blood, motherfucker.
I want some deaths.
I want
Pokemon
bite.
deaths.
I want bite and I know Pokemon dies.
No,
like,
not even
ever.
Not even just the Pokemon. I
They
want some of the
imply it.
characters.
Yeah.
I want maybe Brock to die.
They imply it, like with Marowak's mother that Team Rocket
Yeah.
kills.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that, that's it.
The closest
just,
we've gotten to death is the Pokemon Tower fiasco, and then also when Ash finds that Charmander in the anime, and his
he's
tail
about
is
to
going
die.
out.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to go into like the whole, I'm going to suspend my entire disbelief playing the Pokemon games. However, there comes a point where I want to know the fucking social hierarchy when it comes to this Pokemon games. Like, I want to know who the president is, what their job is, what kind of Pokemon they have. Because if you're the president or like part of the CIA, you have to have some pretty fucking unknown Pokemon. Like, shit they keep from the public.
Like the SCP of Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole like.
I'll also post a link to the SCP wiki. You niggas need to go read that shit.
Like, I want there to be an Area 51 of Pokemon. Shit, like, I want there to be that.
Is the doctor there? I want the doctor to be there.
The fan fiction, I heard in, that the Looker, I think in, Generation 4, in Diamond and Pearl, apparently, what many people speculate is that it looks exactly like Tennant, like, even to the mannerisms of Tennant.
I think I remember seeing that on
10th
Tumblr.
Doctor, from Doctor Who.
I think
from
I remember
Doctor
seeing that on
Who.
Tumblr.
Like, down to the overcoat, down to the quirky popping in and out thing.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I
Looker
want
too.
all of the CIA to have Houndooms.
Oh my
that
god.
they can just sick on people that
Yeah.
just fucking go crazy.
Yeah.
No,
Or
like-
like Myenas. Like, that would be cool as well.
I'm just saying, like, if there was, like, the Secret Service, the MIBs, like, fuck it, like, let's go all the way. Let's have an entire, like,
I want to see
organization of secret...
extraterrestrial Pokemon. Is there life in other worlds of the Pokemon universe? And if so, considering that they have the technology to create Pokeballs and shit like they do, even though it's part of an ancient art, but I mean, they still have advanced
That is
it.
probably the next step, I'm thinking.
But not even that. I want there, like, I'm surprised there hasn't been, like, a space stage yet, where they travel to a fucking space station.
And you go to
like,
different, like,
to
planets,
different
and
planets.
each planet has a different gym.
The 5th generation already went to another dimension.
Wait, are you serious?
What?
Didn't they? Like, the
I don't know.
I stopped playing
What was
part
it?
of the way
What
through,
was
like,
it? No,
Black
there's
version, because I was
that third
pissed.
one. Each generation comes with a third game.
Yeah.
In the third game, like, what is it? You go through this, like, other dimension where everything's fucking upside down and walking on walls and, like, distorted and everything. Like, I think it's the Distortion World. That's what it's called. Something. Please.
No, yeah, I heard
correct me
something
if I'm
about that.
wrong.
It's the Distortion World. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
know
they
that.
travel to another fucking dimension, and I want there to be at least a space stage, like,
Okay. Anyway, let's get back on subject with Generation 1. As far as Pokemon games are concerned, what do you guys think of Generation 1?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
9 out of
It
10.
paves the road. I mean, it really, like, it came out of a time where, like, we didn't have all these innovative games.
Mm-hmm.
We were just starting out. We were in the baby stage of, or we were in the toddler stage, never mind. Toddler stage of, like, portable gaming, of just gaming in general, and it paved the road.
Only
Give me an
151
example.
Pokemon back then.
151.
And that's all we
Or 50,
fucking need. Actually, no, I take that back. Introduce second gen and then kill the series. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay, favorite Generation 1 Pokemon out of the 151. Your favorite.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
I'm not talking most powerful, like just your favorite, whether it be aesthetically, whether it be, like, combine all of it. What's your favorite?
When I was a kid, my favorite was Kabuto for some odd reason. Kabuto, because, like...
Horseshoe crab! Horseshoe crab! Horseshoe
It's
crab!
just, like, it looks so fucking odd. And maybe it's either that or the fact that I got a toy from Burger King of Kabuto that I was really fascinated with. One of those is probably why I like Kabuto when I was a kid, but for now, I think... I don't want to be typical and say Gyarados. So
Fuck Gyarados.
Fuck it, Magic
Gyarados is a...
Fuck it, Magikarp.
So next he's gonna say Slowpoke.
No, because I can't even explain myself. Fuck it.
I can't even explain this.
Okay,
No.
Gunny, go.
My favorite... Okay, this might be gay. I'm going to say
God.
Butterfree. Butterfree.
You're a fucking faggot. Get out.
Explain. Hold on, maybe I should
Explain.
Please.
There are different
Explain.
there are different factors into this.
Ooh.
For one, like in the games, I like his moveset. It's very wide ranged. He can
Everything
or she
from
can
psychic to bugs
That's
Yeah.
true.
to flying grass.
it's very wide range. Although it is a purely offensive Pokemon, there's no defense to that thing at all.
No.
But
I wouldn't even call him offensive. He's very much a status player. That's what he does. His ability comes in the ability to confuse, poison, and put to sleep.
yeah.
Without that, once that wears off, you're fucked as a Butterfree.
And then also I like it's a cool little butterfly thing. Although it kind of looks like a beetle in a way with its face. But other than that, like
It looks like it's smiling with its fangs, going, "Prepare your anus."
also just the thought of like a butterfly beating up like a Charizard is like, entertaining to me.
Beating down a Dragonite.
One hit wonder.
Beating down a Dragonite.
Get fucking back in the water.
All right, how about you?
All right, favorite Pokemon will fuck me sideways with a two-sided dick. You know what? I'm gonna have to say Charizard, purely for how he was portrayed in the animes with Ash, because he reminds me of a honey badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Honey badger don't give no fucks. Charizard don't give no fucks.
Actually, is there a honey badger Pokemon?
I don't know.
I think there might be a badger.
Like a badger?
Pokemon. I'm trying to think.
Like
I think.
It was probably 4th gen, but I don't have.
I think I remember like a
multiple
Pokemon that looked like an anteater, kind of.
Was there an anti?
Like black and white.
Because I'm actually
it was like black and white, I think.
Because fuck me if they haven't made a honey badger Pokemon before a fridge Pokemon. Fuck me entirely.
Okay, let's get going. 2nd gen.
All right, 2nd gen. I don't know anything about it, so you need to take the reins on 2nd gen.
Okay, because Gunny hasn't played it because he's a fucking tool.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, 2nd gen, hands down, 10 out of 10, best game in the series, most initiative.
Gold and silver, right?
The new gold, silver, and the special crystal.
Crystal.
All right.
Crystal.
Now here's what I'm going to tell y'all. You can say that the new gens are innovative with their wireless technology and their ability to go to a distortion world and their new age way of trading and all that kind of stuff. Here's what I'm gonna fucking tell you right now. 2nd gen was the most innovative thing I have ever fucking seen. It came in the wake of the success of the first 2 games and introduced time, daylight savings time, a way to store your money similar to a bank through your mother, which that was kind of cool. Better things to do with your box, better things in terms of decoration. It introduced 2 new types, Dark and Steel, which since then we haven't had a new type since. It introduced, what's the other one? Oh, the ability for days to actually have something. You track the date and different events happen on different days. That was a totally new thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, did it also introduce, a version? No, it didn't. That wasn't until later. Pokemon Tower.
No.
Yeah, that was 3rd gen.
That was later, yeah.
Okay. Even back though, it also introduced a new form of leveling and evolving, and that was friendship evolution. That had to do with how your Pokemon felt about you. It introduced that. It introduced a daycare system, Pokemon eggs, Pokemon breeding,
I remember
which
that.
which created Pokemon different breeds, different types of Pokemon. Like for example, it wasn't just a Machop anymore. It's now a humanoid Pokemon in this subset egg class.
Yeah, but with that, we also got Pokemon prostitution. We have now the Ditto, like, reproducing with, like, 50 different kinds of Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's
because
totally
Ditto can do
normal.
anything.
What?
Because Ditto can mate with anything.
They can mate? I thought they just could take the
No,
form
no, no.
of...
No, they
Well,
can make
for
with
mating, they can take the form of to mate.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
It is, but it's kind of
Pokemon
cool.
prostitution.
That's
Not only
like-
that, but they also introduced, like, with the Pokemon movie that came out with, like, featuring Entei and everything.
Yeah.
The entire concept with unknowns, and, like, I feel...
This ancient society.
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah,
Like it had
exactly.
some kind of, it had some weight to it.
There's, like, ominous feeling, like, there's something that you don't know that's beyond your power.
Not
beyond
only
your
that,
time, like-
2nd gen in terms of anime and manga also explained the events of what happened in the first one when they see Ho-Oh at the beginning.
Yeah.
It explained, if you notice in the
Continuity,
first
I love it!
not only that, in the first game, what do you have to do to advance past Viridian City the first time? Oak's
first time?
Parcel. You have to get Oak's Parcel from the Pokemart. And then when you take it to Professor Oak, he goes, cool, this is the new prototype Pokeball I've been waiting for. It's the GS ball. GS, of course, standing for gold and silver. Cool little pro tip there. Which is explained later on. And they start getting into all of this, which unfortunately then after that they ignore it. They could have done so much with that, but actually I think the developers made a statement saying they lost where they were going to go with it. And they lost the idea. But it was just so innovative. It had so much going on in that one.
Who were the legendaries for Gold and Silver?
You had the dog trio,
Yeah.
which
Dog
was
trio.
Entei, Suicune, and Raikou, which that was coming on the heels of, the legendary birds. From the first one.
Zapdos,
Moltres, and
Articuno,
and Articuno.
Yeah. And then you also had the parallels of Ho and Lugia.
Yeah.
Oh, it also introduced new HMs,
Mm-hmm.
which now you had,
There's Waterfall.
you had
Was it
Waterfall
right?
and Whirlpool.
Yeah, Whirlpool.
And then the other cool thing that you also had was the introduction of not only HMs, but in terms of the you had bag organization.
Oh god, yeah.
Like in the first gen, you could only carry like 50 items and everything was in one area. They actually like compartmentalized it. Also, it introduced new Pokeballs. You don't just have Pokeball, Great Ball, and Ultra Ball. You have the Nest Ball, you have the Fast Ball, you have the Luxury Ball, you have the Net Ball, you have all these different things.
And
for
you can make it
special
from
situations.
apricots too.
Yeah, and you make it
can
from
also
apricorns.
I remember that.
You take them to Kurt, who actually makes you Pokeballs.
Oh god.
It was introducing berries. Like it introduced so much in one game, in one saga.
Yeah.
Like other games introduce a new thing here or there, but not on the grand scale. Like second gen shaped Pokemon for the rest of the franchise.
Now, and second generation happened in Johto, right?
Yes, the
Yes,
Johto region.
And then Generation 1 Kanto.
Yeah, which actually they're part of the same island.
Yeah.
Later ones they go to different, like Sinnoh and Hoenn are on different islands. Kanto and Johto are actually right next to each other. They're adjoined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Generation 3. This was Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby Sapphire with a special of Emerald and the remake of Fire Red and Leaf
Yeah, that's
Green.
right. They had Fire Leaf or Fire Red and Leaf.
These were good. I rate it personally. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.5, 8.
Yeah,
Because
they were good.
it was nice, but it didn't really introduce anything new. Like it not on the same level as.
Yeah, not on the same level, but it did introduce Pokemon contests. It introduced abilities, which that I think is pretty integral now. That makes it more RPG like. There's more strategy now, which I will give it that. It's not as simple.
We didn't introduce 2-on-2, right?
What was that?
2v2.
Yeah, 2v2 battles, which those were pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That definitely was. Pokemon contest, the ability for Pokemon moves to also have like a appeal type for show, like they introduced show Pokemon essentially.
Yeah.
2 different bikes.
Yes.
The Mach bike and the Acro bike.
Yeah.
Not too much in the HM department. The Pokemon still look like animals.
That's a big plus.
Actually, the legendaries are at least pretty cool. Aside
Who were
from,
the legendaries for Generation 3?
Kyogre and
Groudon, and then Rayquaza. And then it introduced the Reggie trio.
Yeah, the Reggie.
I
Reggie
remember the Reggies.
Those were fun to find. Like of all the generations.
Because you had to learn Braille and shit.
Yeah,
like, you had to decode it.
And you had to go back and forth. Like out of all the generations, those were the most fun for me personally. It's like just take day by day. Like I have to go here, then here, then here, then I have to find these, then I have to find this one, and then I have to go in the cave and I have to prepare, and then many Pokeballs I need to have because there's not the most amount
all
of
the Pokeballs
legendaries at the time. Like there's the 3, including Groudon and Kyogre, and then the Reggies, and then there was that alien one.
Celebi?
No, there was
Celebi second gen.
Okay.
Celebi second gen.
No,
it resides in the shrine in the forest. Right
I'm talking about that alien one, the one that has 5 different forms, like the speed form, the attack form, the defense form.
Deoxys.
Deoxys, yes.
The DNA Pokemon. Yes.
DNA. That's what it is.
Yeah, he was the DNA Pokemon.
That was incredible. The
yeah.
forms it had, the way it fights, the way it even looks. Like holy shit! Like they really upped the game when it came to that legendary Pokemon.
Third gen definitely had a lot of new stuff introduced, new Pokemon. The graphics, it was definitely a buff. The graphics always
always improve.
They always improve. The storyline was good because for me, and this is why, actually, I don't know, I might change it and give it the same rating as first gen, actually. And here's why, because the story actually developed. In the first ones, it was become a Pokemon trainer, then beat all the gyms, then beat the Pokemon League, and then you fight the super guy who in second gen was red. Hoorah! And then in the third one, they introduced an actual storyline, and they started to have weight. Like it talked about you had Team Magma and Team Aqua, and they were trying to
I remember that.
essentially make all the world water or all of it ground, and they were trying to you had terrorism in there, which was really heavy. You had the birth of the Earth, which was really cool. I thought that it added some weight.
It also had consequences also, because if you played depending on which game you played, you saw the effects of having one of these teams succeed. For example, if you went with Sapphire, you see the entire world flooded.
Yeah.
Then with Ruby, the whole drought thing and everything. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, your game actually mattered a lot more other than just Pokemon you got.
Let's take a step back real quick because we didn't ask this question. Favorite Gen 2 Pokemon?
Oh, fuck you with sideways with a dick dildo. Oh my god. All of them. I can't give that as an answer, but they were the best Pokemon.
Pick one.
They were the best Pokemon.
Everything except that little slug one in the caves. The normal.
Slugma?
No.
You mean the Magma Slug thing?
No, the normal type one. What the fuck was it?
Dunsparce?
Dunsparce! Fuck Dunsparce! Oh my god! I don't know what it is.
Go to Dark Cave. Ring. Oh yeah, and also introduced the phone, the Pokegear. Yeah. Which that was revolutionary. With radio too. Poke radio. But yeah, ring. Hey, I'm Hiker Anthony. There's Dunsparce in, Dark Cave. You should totally go try to catch him. You go there. Fucking fleas. Every fucking time. Can't catch the motherfucker.
And it's just, I don't see.
So come on, just name a favorite.
Fuck it. Shot in the Dark, Suicune. Just because Suicune.
Okay.
Just because
he was a really cool protagonist in Crystal version.
Yeah.
Like following him around.
Yeah.
With what's his name? The guy that was like all like, dude, I know all this legend stuff, and I'm gonna be the one to catch the legendary dogs. You're like
Batman.
Bro.
Here it goes.
I'm the Batman. I'm Bruce Wayne.
Okay, so favorite, go.
Fuck me sideways. I don't know. I don't know. Like, this is a tough question, motherfucker.
Umbreon also. They introduced Umbreon.
Umbreon and Espeon. We'll get to EVs when we hit 4th gen, because I have a complaint with EV.
Okay, if you can't choose one, let's go to Generation 3. Favorite Generation 3 Pokemon. Go.
Is it too presumptuous to claim a legendary as your favorite?
No, it's not.
Of course
not
not.
at all.
Okay, well then, because I feel like it is. I want to go with like just the Reggies overall.
All the Reggies, all three of them.
Can I just
Yeah,
have the
you
Reggies?
can say all the
'Cause the Reggies were.
Okay.
And then 4th gen have like the God Reggie.
Oh yeah, Giga Reggie.
Giga Reggie, yeah.
Right. Fave Gen 3.
Fave Gen 3. Fuck you. Stop doing this to me. Like, it had so many good ones.
You're okay with going with Blaziken. Everyone loves Blaziken.
I love Blaziken.
Everyone
Blaziken was
does.
my
Yeah,
boy. I
exactly.
started with Torchic like a boss. Actually, you know what I'm gonna say?
Everyone likes the fire types. I know that.
Because fire types are bomb.
From then on, it started the trend of firefighting. Like from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Like I'm hoping this.
Yeah, fire and fighting Pokemon. Fire and fighting.
It's awesome. Variety.
I don't know. I'll get back to you guys with those two.
Okay.
Actually, I will claim a favorite from 2nd gen.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say Houndoom.
Okay.
Because he was awesome.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Fair choice, okay.
He was awesome.
Mine for Gen 3 probably would be Mudkip.
Wait.
A soft spot for
Mudkip and its evolutions, or just Mudkip?
Mudkip.
You don't like Swampert?
No, because then they start looking at these weird mutant frog things.
Like it wasn't
Mudkip.
already.
Oh my
Look
god.
at it.
You
It's
like
a
the
mixture of a
Mudkip?
dog and a
Mudkip.
frog.
You like Mudkip? Yeah, exactly.
Do you like Mudkip?
Alright, Generation 4, I know nothing about anything past Generation 3, so I'm going to turn off the floor.
Oh, they were
to you guys.
bad.
I never played
They went
Generation
down.
4.
I played Gen 4. I played Gen 4 actually, like, I think, as much as I played Gen 3.
I'm trying to play it on my emulator, but it's so hard to keep on going. Like I just don't have any motivation.
It was alright. It was okay. It was decent. It was following in the footsteps of 3, and it did an okay job. The Pokemon started to get a little nuts. Like, you had Rotom, which was the first Ghost and Electric type, which that was really cool. But the downside to that was that it could evolve into a refrigerator.
Oh my god.
And you found him in a TV. And I was like...
Do you really?
Yeah, you find him in a TV. You find him in a haunted TV.
The moment Pokemon started going down.
Yeah, the moment it started getting weird, I was like, I'm out of here.
What was that really cool one? The dark fighting one or something. Looked like a little bandit. It was a little like
Looked like a
dark eyes and
raccoon.
everything. Yeah, it was like a raccoon thing. What was it? It was
I don't know what you're
It was in
referring
Super Smash Bros. Or not Super.
Was it in Brawl?
Brawl.
I
That's it.
didn't play
Yeah,
Brawl.
then I wouldn't know. I hated Brawl. I played it for all of like 10 minutes and was like, fuck this game. We'll explain that in a different podcast.
Okay, well, I guess that's it on Generation 4.
Generation
5.
4, hold on. I
Okay.
will say this. The thing that I did like about Gen 4, though, was, the story got a lot heavier.
Yeah.
They ended up talking about space-time, which that got really interesting.
Then would you agree that as the games went on, Pokemon might have gotten a little weird toward the end, but storytelling still started to go up?
Plot developed. There was plot.
Yeah, okay.
I will give the future ones plot and graphics.
Yeah.
But I feel they started, like... Okay, I understand that part of the Pokemon franchise is new Pokemon every time you get to a new area. But there's already so many fucking Pokemon that you're gonna start to have to, like... You're gonna run out of ideas. You're gonna have a Coke bottle Pokemon, for fuck's sake. Like... It's enough. Enough is enough. We don't need a subwoofer Pokemon. That's what's gonna happen.
No, I think the problem is like we could include new ones, but not so many fucking Pokemons at a time.
We don't need a refrigerator.
We don't need 150 new Pokemons every
No,
game.
they do more than 150. They started pushing like 200 fucking Pokemon a game.
And then you start fucking with my originals. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, they start fucking with the originals. Okay, which, because it was introduced in 4th gen, now I'm gonna go on my little Eevee rant. Okay, start out with Eevee. Can
Eevee.
evolve 3 ways. Using stones. Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon. Cool. I'm cool. Makes sense. Fire, water, electric. Get to the second gen. Introduce Dark. Make it Dark and Psychic. Umbreon and Espeon. Espeon, by the way, third highest special attack in all of second gen. By days.
I believe that.
Fucking, like, amazing. I was actually talking to Urias about it. He actually looked that up for me. Because I got it in third gen, because I was making Red's team, and he has, like, no defense, but his speed is through the roof, and his special attack, so I don't need defense. Because I attack first, and I decimate everything. Like, I was killing shit with confusion. 20 levels higher than me. And I was like, how is this happening? But anyway. And then you get to 4th gen and you introduce, what were there? Leafeon, which was a grass type. If you do a friendship evolution, because that's how you had to get Umbreon and Espeon, near a leafy rock, that there was this one area to do it. And then Glaceon, who was a ice version that was near an icy rock. And I was like, okay, this is getting a little crazy. And then they're coming out with 6th gen soon, which we'll get to, and now there's a new one that looks like this fucking faggot-ass rainbow Eevee. Where they haven't even given a type to it
LBJ
yet.
Alliance.
Oh yeah, LBG on. Yeah. That's what it's gonna be named. And it's just like, I don't have anything against gays. I wasn't meant to sound like
that. I know, it was just a
joke.
joke.
It was stupid.
Anyway, alright, well, let's jump to Generation 5.
I only played half.
Generation 5.
Generation 5 was black and white, right?
Black and white and black and white 2?
I played half of black, and I eventually said, fuck this hipster piece of shit. It was the hipster game. It was the hipster.
Well, didn't they have like an urban environment and everything?
Yeah, everything was a city urban environment.
It was set in New York, like the real, it's a fictional place, but it was
similar to
based
Manhattan.
on Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah. And so it was cool and all. Like, I was like, cool, there's 3D cities. Like, all that was cool.
Yeah.
And walking through crowds and stuff, that was cool. Mm-hmm. But it was such a hipster fucking Pokemon game. Like, everything was talking about coffee shops and shit. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Did you buy coffee?
Fucking
Well,
serious?
not only that, but look at their fucking clothing. Like, oh my god.
They look like total fucking hipsters.
They look like...
And they
Getting with the times.
introduced a garbage bag Pokemon. Out!
To their defense...
What?
To their defense...
A garbage bag?
There was Grimer.
Grimer
That's
was
fine,
though.
because he was pollution. Like, I was actually talking to Gunny, it's so cool that poison defeats grass because it's like pollution, and I'm like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking garbage bag.
See, you want to complain about
It's
something...
a garbage bag with fists! No!
No, if you want to complain, talk about Vanillux. The fucking vanilla Pokemon.
The ice cream
the
Pokemon.
Vanilla Pokemon.
Ice cream
Pokemon.
Vanilla.
So they come in different flavors?
No, just vanilla. Vanillux. Vanillux. Let's just sink that
It's
in.
getting fucking crazy. Okay, if Game Freak, if we ever, like, branch out, like, I mean, we actually have a lot of people listening to this that aren't from the community, we found out.
Did we?
Yeah, I ended up looking at it. It turns out we have people that aren't from the community, so good to you guys. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, if anybody can ever shoot a message to the guys who run Pokemon, tell them to stop. Pokemon, like, as I see it, like, you start out and you're like, this is awesome. Then you get second gen and you're like, dude, this is fucking amazing. You get third gen and you're like, you're alright. And then you get fourth gen and you're like, Pokemon. And then fifth gen, it's like, what are you doing? And then sixth gen, it's like, Pokemon, stop!
I think in the new generation, there's one that looks like a mix between a mushroom and a Pokeball. Like, just a mushroom. Like, not...
Mushroom-a-ron!
Nothing else. Just a mushroom. Like a little Pokeball pin on top.
And not like Shroomish or like...
No.
What, like a Goomba from Mario?
Nothing to make it look stand outish. Just a mushroom.
As Urias put it, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but we had not that anything against you, but we had a conversation about this a couple nights ago. And essentially he said they need to stop just putting eyes on household objects. Stop just putting eyes on anything you can find and call it a Pokemon.
It reminds me of that movie about, that Disney movie about household appliances that, like, run away.
The Brave Little Toaster!
Yeah!
And then the sound goes
Oh my god!
No, Brave Little I watched the Brave Little Toaster movies with Gabby last summer.
Are you
We were
serious?
sitting there bored and we were like, you know what was awesome? Brave Little Toaster. She was like, babe, we're watching Brave Little Toaster.
Oh my God.
And we made taquitos and watched Brave Little
Those
Toaster.
are signs of a keeper.
But yeah, I remember those movies were really sad. Like one, they were really fucking sad. Like the flower that died. Remember the flower that was wilting?
Yeah, here's what I will say though. Watching those movies again are really creepy because having it be from the 90s, like there's that little hit at like pushing the sensors like they do.
Yeah.
Which
Dark,
is okay.
really dark.
It's very dark.
Oh, God.
But the other thing is that disturbs me is with the innocent tone that they refer to the guy who owns them as Master.
Really?
The
I
whole
don't
movie,
remember
he's
that.
like, well, we don't want to displease Master. And I'm like,
Really?
what are you fucking held in a basement being beaten?
Your household appliances.
We don't want to displease Master. Bitch, get black blanket. Ah! What has he done with that blanket that makes him want to call him Master?
You don't want to know.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Okay, Generation 6 is coming out soon. I think it's
No,
gonna be
it's out,
announced soon.
isn't it?
No, it's not.
No, it's not out.
Oh, it's not out
yeah,
yet.
it's,
Okay.
it's just being talked about.
The only thing I've heard is that they have a Mewtwo evolution, and they also are going full 3D now. Full 3D
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I like
They
the
also, by the
graphics.
way, in 5th gen, they introduced 3v3s.
Did they?
Yeah, that's right.
3v3s, which that for me, I was kind of like, okay, it's getting a little crazy. You were fine at 2v2, but now it's kind of getting to a point now.
Menage a trois.
More
I'm gonna send
graphics,
out, I'm gonna
more
send out my
lightning
whole-
bolts.
I'm gonna send out my whole team at once. Like I'm sending out half my team.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I want to see the gang wars on. Like you send out 7 Pokemon at a time.
Are
It's
they
just
like
an all-out- It's an all-out like ethnic fight. Just-
Are they like West Side Story fights where they're like snapping and shit? And they're like, "Come at me, bro." Set in an urban population.
We're halfway there. Might as well fuck with and go all the way.
All right. Any comments about Generation 6? Any
God.
Don't.
Oh, don't.
Don't make it.
Don't make it.
Don't
I don't.
make it.
A full 3D Pokemon game would be interesting.
They're
Especially-
making an evolution to Mewtwo. They're adding a new evolution
Its
to
ass is
Eevee.
on its head.
They're making an evolution to Jinx that looks like Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
And they're also making an evolution to Mr. Mime, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Mime, yeah. What is it? Mimester or
Mr.
Yeah, it's
Mime.
like-
Mr. Mime.
it's Master Mime.
Master
Mastermind.
Mime.
Master
Oh
Mime.
my
Master Mime.
god. Oh my god.
I'm
You know-
only cool with that if whenever you throw him out, it goes dun 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 dun. But other than that, I don't want him.
All right, we can't really say anything more because nothing has been announced. But I will say, if they have full 3D Pokemon games, I want remakes of the originals in full 3D. That would be
I
awesome.
want remakes of all of the original games that only include Pokemon up to the 3rd generation. They are not compatible with the other games because they'll be tainted and poisoned. And I want them like on a console
Okay.
And I
in
want-
first person.
Oh my
I
god.
want a first person Pokemon game.
I think we're a long way away from that.
No,
fucking
no,
think
we're
about
not.
it. No,
we
we're
can't
not.
be.
I just-
We have the technology. We have the means.
Someone
we have
else
the
has
people
to
that
take
want
over
them.
the rights. I don't think Game Freak is to go away from like an over the top.
Think of it this way, especially with what we're developing with Kinect. I'm not saying Kinect is there yet.
Yeah.
Not
Microsoft
yet.
doesn't
Not
even-
yet.
it's not even
No,
close
I
to
know,
having
I know,
the
but I'm
rights.
saying like no, I'm talking about
Okay.
with our
Like
technology.
motion gaming?
Yeah, motion
Yeah,
gaming.
okay.
We're not there yet, but think about a first-person game where you're actually in control and you actually pull the Pokeball off your fucking belt and you throw that motherfucker and you like throw a Pokeball to catch your motherfucker. Like I was awesome. Like Cass.
Yeah, like and voice like say a Pikachu used Thundershock.
I wasn't supposed to say his name.
You said half of it. You know what?
Whatever. Fuck.
Anyway,
Keep going. It can never happen.
fuck it.
Keep going.
It never happened. Anyway, no, like, remember you were telling me how you were disappointed when you were 10 because you found out you weren't going to get to become a Pokemon trainer. Now you could in the comfort of your own home. You don't even have to get out of the house, you neckbeards.
Perfect. Something I loved, like envisioning myself when I'm 26. Pokemon. Pokemon! Yes! Like, I'm sure 8-year-old me would just love to.
Like you actually go out and buy a Pokemon and throw it at your TV.
Yeah.
Like, it comes with a Pokeball, like a Wiimote that you
Oh my
attach to your
God.
wrist.
Oh my!
And so
comes
you can
with
actually
a
throw
glove.
it. Yeah,
Comes
with
with
a
a
glove.
Pokedex.
Take my money.
It comes with a Pokedex, so like whenever a Pokemon comes out, I can pull out the Pokedex and scan it, like legitimately scan it. And it'll be like, and the Pokedex has a speaker in it that actually speaks to me, and it'll be like Pikachu, the electric mouse Pokemon, and I'll be like, dude.
You know what? Competition over. Game Freak, just hand us over the rights and we'll just take it all from here.
And watch the money come in, baby.
Just watch it grow, please.
Okay, well, this is definitely, I think, gone on long enough.
Yes,
Although
it is.
this is a
This-
return show, so we are definitely, like, I think going somewhere.
We're
with
pushing 40 minutes with this, but now let's jump into listener mail. This week we have 3 pieces of listener mail. They're a little old,
which
though.
we are going to get back to you guys with after a break.
Okay.
I think that was 40 minutes. People
Okay,
need to relax
okay.
for a second. So yeah, guys, we will be back right after this short break. I'll make sure that I make it short, and we'll address our listener mail and any other community things before we send you guys out. Sorry for this one being long, but to be honest, when you went 2 weeks without a podcast, like you guys are built up like, I don't know, teenager who hasn't had sex in a week or something.
All right. Stay tuned to the FC podcast.
Stay tuned, guys. Don't change the channel.
welcome back in to the FC Podcast with your three favorite people here. Killer Gunny 132, to my right, Toast 78901, and behind me, our special guest, Papa Big Dick. Papa Big Dick. He's back here for some listener mail after joining us for that very long and informative Pokemon discussion.
By the way, if you guys are munching, I'm eating Cheez-Its and drinking tea, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
We don't give no fucks here at the FC Podcast.
I do the editing. I put in whatever the fuck I want.
All right, so let's get into our first piece of listener mail, and Toast here will lead it off.
Starts out saying, "What's up? It's Rip Helix from," and then his actual real name, which I won't release on air.
That'd be mean.
Rip Helix, he actually was a member of my Squad Lost Remnants, and he says, "Helix here. You guys are awesome and hilarious. Love the podcast, especially the interviews." Yeah, thank you, man. "I enjoy getting to know the community more in depth and all that good stuff. Keep up the good work, guys. Let's kick some red ass this Sunday." This was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got, the bottom side of a broom. And, boobies. Those are his words, not mine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
This is you being awesome and saying that we're awesome, and I love that. In terms of interviews and getting to know the community more, well, unfortunately, we didn't this week. Probably will next week. We'll start off again with another interview, possibly. Maybe we just have a FC guest next week.
I have an idea. I won't say it on air because it'll be a surprise, but I'll talk to you afterwards.
Do you want to tell me now? I'll just edit it out. Wink, wink.
Okay. No.
Damn it. Sorry, guys. I tried to get you insider info. It didn't work. Blame Gunny.
All right. Papa Big Dick, you have any input?
There's really not much to say. I mean, it's not really addressed to me.
It wouldn't be addressed to you anyway.
Yeah, but
It said boobies. That's within your interest.
I like boobies. Yeah, I like boobs.
Everyone likes
All right.
boobies.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm more of an ass man, personally.
So
we
like,
should have a boob
ass
versus
and
ass debate.
ass and legs.
Well, my girlfriend wears nothing but heels. I'm sure we see where I'm going with that one.
Fair enough.
All right, next piece of listener mail is from our founder, the very friendly Raz Vader, entitled "Greetings," and it goes as follows: "Hello, Mr. Gunny and Mr. Toast. Thank you for the formalities. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I would like another, sir."
Just wanted to say that you were doing a fantastic job with the podcast thus far. I have listened to every episode. Thank you for being supportive.
Muy
Muy
bien,
bien,
me gusta.
gusta.
Wow, we're getting multicultural here. I like this.
And whatever other proactive Spanish word you want to add. Batu sueso. I'm white. I have no idea what that means.
I'm not even going to help him on this one.
The Salvation Army is doing great. Our friends at Halo Unity, as you know, have issued a challenge. This is old stuff. I believe it will end Monday today for the people listening, so I hope we can
2
finish the
weeks
challenge.
ago.
Yeah, so I hope we can finish the challenge in time. We need 177 names. Let's get it done. That's old stuff. We addressed that in our first segment. Excuse me, that's tea. Anyway, a little update on my recruitment video. This should be interesting. I've gotten some help to begin my recruitment video project. Blaze from Red is going to help me sometime next month. I'll have to begin filming within a few more weeks, so let us hope we can have another glorious video for newbies of FC to watch and laugh.
Before we continue, actually, Blaze, he's also doing the FC Top 5, which we forgot to address in the news. So I want to do that
There are
now.
2 episodes. They are fucking boss.
They're boss. One of you guys badger me in the thread where I post the update because I actually have a couple clips that I want to submit. Did you see them? You need to go on my file share and watch them. It's so awesome. They were amazing clips. I raped shit with a bolt shot and a sword, and it was funny.
Yeah, I also need to submit clips. I need to remind myself to do that.
I keep forgetting.
But yeah, he has a whole judging panel. It's very cool. Like Blaze.
Which,
that
by
is
the way,
awesome.
last time I checked, he still needs 2 blue members in the judging panel.
I thought he has Jamie as one of them.
Jamie, and then Jamie had to step down, and so he needs people. I don't know how recent that still is. This was with the last update.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys, if you're in blue, go ahead and contact Blaze. He needs some people.
Okay.
If you have absolutely nobody, Blaze, let me know when you guys do this, and I might have the time for it, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So no promises.
All right. Changing subjects as he continues. I like to talk about the next Xbox and PS4. You both should know that the Xbox is being announced on May 21st. Yes, we addressed that. I am excited, yet meh. This is how I am.
I understand your feels.
This is how I am. I am always expecting the worst when it comes to Microsoft. Last E3, when I saw Usher and fucking dancers come out at a damn E3 press conference.
For Black Ops 2 of all games.
Yeah, at an E3 press conference. I just wanted to shoot myself. It was an embarrassment for gamers around the world. This is not a fucking concert. Show us games, damn it. I agree. I agree 110%.
Damn it is not D-A-M-M-I-T. It's D-A-M-N-I-T. It's actually damn it, but without the space. It's a portmanteau. Anyway, continue.
Alas, we are doomed. Nice positivity there, Raz. I already know the next Xbox will be more of an entertainment system and not just built for pure hardcore gamers like you and I.
Wait, hold on. You and I, that doesn't refer to both of us. That would be y'all. or you all, which actually is a legitimate word, not just in the South. So since you're talking, I am offended. This excluded me, Raz! I thought we were brothers. Thunder buddies for life.
Toast is going full grammar Nazi right now. Anyway. I expect...
part of the job description.
I expect a lengthy discussion from you and Gunny Gunny, and Senior Toast after the announcement.
Which, to be honest, should have had a comma there.
Yeah. From you, Gunny, and Senior Toast after the announcement on May 21st, and whatever Microsoft has to show us, but I swear to God, if a dancer or rapper or some other performer makes an appearance at this event, so help me God, babies will be punched. Sincerely, Raz fucking Vader. P.S. Buvna Toaster?
Is that a wink face?
Winky face.
Oh yeah, it is. I know where he's going with that one.
I know I want his dick, but what's going on there? I thought his dick was only mine.
Hey, you can't. He doesn't go exclusively to you. Me and Raz have a thing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go into that anyway.
So yeah, in terms of other stuff, yeah.
We will once the PS or once the Xbox is announced and all that good stuff. We will have a lengthy discussion.
We'll have a lot more info.
Yeah.
That'll be that week's discussion.
Yeah, definitely.
And you'll hear me rant about modern industry. Which I'll probably have my break song there be Belt.
By Say
Anything.
Yes,
yeah, I would not sell my belt to industry. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Alright, the next piece is listener mail.
Alright. And it is from my name brother, Bubba Bishop, who says, continuing my thread, or continuing my trend of massive letters.
Yes.
And he starts, Dear hateful toast and loving Gunny. I think that portrays us nicely. First, I'm a little shell-shocked that I've been here under 2 months and I got a shout-out kind of in the podcast in the middle of an interview. Thanks, Toast. Hey, what can I say? You're awesome. By the way, I believe he's still doing his whole Minecraft project thing, the full-on Hunger Games thing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys should totally get in contact with him. Like, if you don't, I'm gonna hunt you down and gut you like a fish. Not Bubba, the people who don't help. Anyway, you didn't leave much for me to write an essay about this time, but I'm going to try anyways because I enjoy taking up 10 or 15 minutes of the podcast. It makes me feel important when in reality I'm just a pessimistic satire that needs to quit drinking Monster Energy and lose weight because I'm never going to get anywhere in life if I gain 20 pounds a year and never give a shit about anything but anime and video games. Ranting is fun! Aww. Caps, by the way, were not my addition. They were in terms of his. I'm still waiting for your Church of Toast to begin. I have a feeling it will be the only religion I won't pick to shreds with a scalpel. I'm going to be your fanatical zealot member. Be warned. That will get going. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. I actually started, I told quite a few people this. I had 4 pages of doctrine written and my computer fucked up and FC autosave didn't catch it. Oh. And so I lost 4 pages of work and I said, fuck this shit, flipping tables done. Anyway, he continues, since I'm still trying to BS my way into writing an essay, which is funny in a sense because I have a theology essay due tomorrow, first period. Hopefully you scored well on that, by the way. That I haven't started on, that I should be working on instead of annoying the host of a gaming podcast. I'll make little quips about the show. Make it longer. Toast needs to bitch at the listeners more. Gunny needs to be funny. I hate rhyming, but I did it anyway. Anyone that says Toast should leave can die in a hole after I shoot them. I ought to take my meds before I send in listener mail. I have my own, fanatic. This is so cool. We're not just name brothers, Gunny. He is an extension of my soul. But, in terms of me bitching more and making it longer, I would actually like to include a tirade every show. I've also thought about maybe just having the tirades be a separate mini show that I release every week. Maybe on Fridays. Yeah. It wouldn't take me long. Just record a 15-minute comment.
Just record every time you talk.
Just something in the news. But in terms of making it longer, actually, our longest show, which I believe was the 3rd episode or the 4th episode, it was an hour and a half. We lost listeners because of that. So although you want it longer, I totally would go for longer. I'm fine with having a 2-hour show.
But we have other people consider.
The community isn't, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you, Lord of Breakfast, referring to me, of course, for putting The Wall by Pink Floyd as your favorite collection. I fist pumped and slugged my new dog on accident when you said that. 1, I feel sorry for your dog. 2, in your next listener mail, address what kind of breed of dog it is, because I'm a dog fanatic. And in terms of The Wall, yes, hands down, probably the best rock opera to be released. There's actually a full, speaking of listener mail, we got that one from Rip Helix. He's actually in the recording industry. And so we're going to have a music discussion. I want him on the show for that discussion. Because we actually talked about it, separately about just The Wall in general. We were kind of discussing music. And we haven't been able to go in depth, but I want him on the show.
Mental note take.
I also maybe want Mr. the Adrian. Again, sorry that these are going to be LR members. I'm not biased in any way, just I've talked to them more. And he actually is a huge music fanatic as well. He addressed it in listener mail that one time. He should be in that conversation. We'll have 4 people talking about it once. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, He goes, continuing on my giant letter, I recommend that eventually you two do a live podcast on video that we can watch on YouTube. And you don't clean your rooms first so we can all make stupid ass comments on the various items we can see in the background. Unfortunately, if we didn't clean the room, like, Gunny's dildos would be everywhere.
I know, I have a problem.
It's kind of a problem.
And it's just, I don't want those on air because I think our video might get flagged. It's inappropriate.
Dildos aren't very
And not all of our
friendly on
listeners
YouTube.
are over 18. That's a problem.
That's also a problem.
Or how scruffy you look, depending on whether or not you have groomed yourself regularly in the previous weeks. Actually, I normally do. I have a bit of like the mustache thing going on instead of the beard right now because I've been too busy to shave with finals. But yeah, by the way, you guys out there, you know I have long hair. You've seen pictures of me. Cass is gonna go with me. I guess you might want to if you want.
Oh my God.
I'm cutting all my hair off.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm cutting all of my hair off. All of it. It's gonna go. It's bye-bye. It's gone. I don't know how short. That's up to my girlfriend. I flat out told her. And she was like, no, you can't cut your hair. And then I talked about it. I was like, I've had this urge for a long time now. And so I'm letting her determine the haircut. So whatever she doesn't like about it, it's on her. It's not on me. It's my own saving ass. She listens to these, by the way. If she finds out, well, actually, I think she knows that, but she's probably going to be pissed that I said that. Love you, babe. In terms of Bubba Bishop, back to get to his other thing, he goes, thank you for pointing out that I'm articulate. I pride myself in my ability to speak to others efficiently. I am not, however, a grammar Nazi. I prefer the term vocabulary fascist, as it is more apt depiction of how I correct others for the sake of annoying the shit out of them. As you may have noticed, I use a large vocabulary. I continue to swear often. This disproves the people that swear enough to make sailors blush have limited grammar and vocabulary skills. It's a fucking farcical and erroneous opinion. First off, you use the word farcical, which makes me love you even more. Speaking of the grammar stuff, you saw how I was, like, in terms of going into journalism, which you guys all know that I was going to. I was going to make my start as an editor, by the way. So, I mean, that tells you enough about me, I mean, in terms of that. He continues, saying, continuing, I'm going to recommend a few things for your viewing pleasure. One, the book 1 Second After by William R. Forstchen, which details what would actually happen if we entered a Fallout universe. I will have to check that out. Next bullet point, the TV show Doctor Who. Yes, hipsters have convinced us that this show should be avoided, but it's a wonderful show that highlights flaws in human nature often, and does so with little regard with such petty things as political correctness. Yes.
Doctor Who
yes,
is awesome.
yes.
We are all Doctor Who fans.
We've been watching it for years. I
Years.
can lecture for hours. We'll do a Who show.
We should do a Who episode.
Especially since Papa Big Dick here, since he'll be back in the Philippines for a while.
I love that.
We're gonna have him there because he's actually the one who got me into Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I got all of you guys. Everyone
Yeah,
in
you
this room has
Yeah.
gotten into Doctor Who because of me.
Yeah, we'll
because
do
of the
a whole
night I
movie
woke
show.
up 2 a.m. with nothing on TV. Then I saw Doctor Who and I was like, I'll try
What
it out.
did you watch first? Was it Blink?
It was no.
'Cause you
no,
showed me
no, no.
Blink
I
first.
showed everyone Blink. That's like the default. But I think I saw the Shakespeare episode with Martha.
Who turned off the lights?
Martha.
Oh.
Who turned off the lights?
Oh gosh.
Who turned off the lights? Okay, anyway, I'm done geeking out. Not related to his thing, by the way. I know that that's a different episode. I just felt like saying that. Anyway, he said the Flash game E7, while the game itself is rather short, it conveys a deep message upon completion.
E7.
I will check it out. I'm actually a big Flash gamer. I've been doing that since I was little. And they're usually very deep, especially I found Swedish developers, by the way. Do some amazing stuff with Flash games. If you guys haven't, check out the Submachine series. That's one to check out. It's a very, very deep kind of escape style Flash game, but it's very deep. It's cool. Anyway, this awesome, and his final bullet, the awesome community event on Halo called Forerunner Conflict. Never mind. I realized how badly I need to take my meds before talking to anyone. Okay. Fine by me. Just take your meds. No, that wasn't just, by the way. That was take your meds. I don't know why that first part came out. I love you regardless. We're all on meds. Don't worry. Continuing, thank you for comparing me to Clive Johnson.
He means Cave Johnson? He means Cave Johnson?
Does he mean Cave? He means
no,
Cave.
he means Clive,
Really?
I think.
I
love him as a kid, yeah, and he fits into my giant conspiracy theory on how all Valve games are secretly in the same universe.
think
I'll
that's
share
Cave
this with
Johnson.
others eventually, if my internal voices can agree on how, Left 4 Dead fits into everything.
Oh, is Clive?
Yeah, Clive.
I don't know anything about Left 4 Dead.
I hated it, but I know enough about it. Anyway, still BSing. Please keep seated for the record. I am not a hipster for recommending Doctor Who. I'm a media niche researcher. You've probably never heard of people like us.
Wait.
No, I am, because I'm the same way.
Wait, hold on. Is Doctor Who really considered hipster now? It's pretty...
Oh, dude, it totally... Fucking look at Tumblr. By the way, Tumblr's a piece of shit, and so is Reddit. Go all die. I want all of you to die.
Isn't it pretty
anyway.
mainstream now? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, a lot of people know about Doctor Who. Or it's been into the mainstream media
That's why
for
it's
a
hipster.
long time.
That's why it's hipster.
What?
Hipster's
Anything that is
mainstream.
mainstream is now hipster. I'm sorry, but in case you guys didn't notice, the only way to be a hipster in today's culture is to not be a hipster. That's the only
God,
hipster
I
thing
just...
to do. By the way, other side note, hipsterism isn't anything new. Go back and read some 1950s literature, including Jack Kerouac. Anyway. He continues, that was a useless trolling sentence. Ignore it. Now, I command you to erase it from your memory in the name of toast. I'm being praised as a deity. I'm fine with this. He goes, sorry for the lack of meds showing. I'm going to go take a nap now. Trying to cope, schizophrenic Bubba. That is the end of the listener mail.
Awesome listener mail, like always, Bubba.
It was. I love the essays. They're fun. All of you guys out there, this is my personal call. We need more listener mail. I want more than 3 messages.
Jesus, we're looking at you, bud.
Yeah.
Fucking Tim Carpenter, fuck you.
By the way, that's his real name. Look him up on Facebook. Stalk him. That's actually why I don't give people's real names, because I don't want them stalked. Like, I don't care if people stalk me. Stalk me all you want. I mean, you're just gonna find how sexy I am, but that's a different issue.
Yeah. No, fucking Tim, fucking send in your listener mail, bro. Because you've been bitching at me about how we haven't done a podcast for 2 weeks. So send in your mail so we can address it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, send in some listener mail. And again, because we're wrapping this up here now, send in codes. We need codes for the Salvation Army, or it's dead.
Yes, send in
or it's
codes.
going to die. I
don't want it to die. I don't want it to die. It's such a great idea.
I believe a guy named Pumbaa. I think that's...
Pumbaa.
It might have been Pumbaa, I'm not sure. But then I feel like I'm talking Lion King, and then I hear, yeah! So when, yeah. But anyway, yeah. He's a guy enlisted in red. He needed a code. He has a really touching story that he gave me. I don't know if you saw it. Actually, I'll send you the story later because it's a private thing. Totally deserve the code, bro. Unfortunately, we could only give you a 2-week and not a month code. Black ZR1, my bro. You've been my bro since I joined FC. You've also needed a code, and I wasn't able to provide one. I apologize. We need the community to step in here. It's your guys' turn to pitch in.
Yes, thank you.
By the way, Gunny was off having gay sex.
Sorry.
Ignore that weird silence. I'm not cutting it out for his sake.
Yeah.
It'll be immoralized.
That was unprofessional. I apologize. Anyway, I think that'll wrap up this week's podcast, right?
I think it does. Send in your listener mail. Send us in some codes. Send me some money personally. No, actually, we don't need money, but unfortunately, guys, we're going to have to start taking episodes down.
Yeah.
We have them stored in YouTube, but as you guys know, the YouTube versions suck. And in terms of ease of listening, we have the new Podomatic player that Myth coded for us on the forum, so we can play everything from there. But we're gonna have to start removing episodes one by one because the storage that we have on our site is now full. If you guys want to donate, I wouldn't complain. We need $10 a month. But again, I'm not pushing you. You guys donate enough to the community. I'd rather have codes, but
yeah,
we're gonna have to start taking those off and have them logged. I guess what I'll do is, because I have them on my computer, if you guys ever want it, I can send it to you as an audio file.
I have an idea. I'll talk without you after this, but I have an idea for that we could possibly work with.
Okay. The only problem, like I said, is storing things.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd have to do like a cloud system.
Well, I'll talk to you about
that.
Well,
that'll come next week, my friends.
Yeah. All right. One last thing. Morgan, get over here. Morgan, get over here. I didn't mean to. Morgan, get over here.
Okay.
Morgan,
We're running on low time. Come on.
Morgan, get over here.
Intermission.
My buddy Morgan here. All right, I'm using his name because I need to call him over here. It's his 20th birthday, so y'all say happy birthday to him. Talk.
Hi. I got hit in the pole with the face for my cousin.
You got hit in the pole with a face.
You got hit in the pole with a face.
Say hi to everyone in Forerunner Conflict. Say hi, Forerunner Conflict. I'm Morgan.
Killer Gunny hit me in the pole with the face.
Yes, I did. Okay.
You should all hate him. Send him hate mail. Toast is a good person.
Blackhawk already tells everyone to give me bad reviews on Xbox anyway. So,
yeah. By the way, go and find Gunny in your friends
and
list
submit a bad player review.
And
fucking
send. I have a larger negative player review than I have.
Everyone does.
You call
everyone does.
Bad words.
No, I watch my mouth.
So
I totally watch my mouth. Unless it's people from the community.
Anyway, that'll wrap up.
11-year-olds just not watching what they say.
That'll wrap up this week's episode of the Forerunner Conflict podcast. For Toast 78901, and for myself, Killer Gunny 132, and for
Papa Big Dick.
Papa Big Dick, and for Morgan, we all wish you a great day and a great week. Keep tuning into the FC podcast.
Stay classy, FC.
Stay classy, San Diego.